Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to look at some prehistoric art today. Here's an example I did a couple years ago, and you can create this artwork too if you want. This one is done with brown construction paper and paint. What I have done is I made a stencil out of paper and cut out the image of this animal, and then I painted inside that stencil multiple times. However, since we're learning from home, we might not have access to paint and brown construction paper, because I know at my house I don't have brown construction paper. So what I'm going to do is show you an alternative to this method. So the first thing we're going to use is white paper. Now, you can use a pencil, you can use chalks, so if you have chalk at home, different colors of chalk. You can use these Conte crayons, which work as well. You can use charcoal pencil, if you've got those. There's a plethora of things you can use. You could also use crayons if you have those. And you can also use oil pastels. So I'm going to show you a variety of different techniques that you can use, depending on what you have available. So the first thing you're going to do is figure out which kind of animal, prehistoric animal, that you want to create. And we're going to break it down into shapes. So I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going to do kind of this cow, this bull shape animal right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down first into shapes, and I'm going to draw it in pencil first. So I'm going to do one over here because I'm going to do multiple animals. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up with a circle, and because that's the circle for the head. And then I'm going to come up with an oval, and notice the oval is kind of at a diagonal. And then I have another oval this way. So I'm going to do another oval here. And then what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to connect these two ovals. Notice there's a curve here. And there's a curve here. And now I can add the legs. Well, actually, first let me do the mouth, and that's a triangle here. Kind of looks like a bird almost right now. So I'm going to take from where the circle is and come down. Just going to create the front of this bowl. And now I have a shape here, which is a triangle. I'm going to put that triangle here. And I have another triangle here. And the back two legs are also triangles. So I'm going to do is finish the curve here for the back of this bowl. Comes right off the edge of this oval, curves down. And now I'm going to add this triangle here and my other triangle from the back leg. Now I basically have all the shapes here. I can add the tail if I want, and I can add these horns. And now I can go ahead and erase some of these inside marks. This is where my larger eraser is going to come in handy. So for this, let's use a charcoal pencil. So in prehistoric times, man did use charcoal to create their drawings. And remember, charcoal is just burnt wood. So here you can see it's got a very dark, soft line. And I want it to be kind of sketchy almost. And now I can take my finger and I can kind of blend around, kind of smear it almost to kind of give it a older prehistoric look. It's pretty cool. And now, so that is with the charcoal. So charcoal is pretty cool. Charcoal can also look in this shape as well. And I'll show you what this one can kind of look like with a different animal. So with this, I'll try with this one, but I'll do it in a different color. So these are like Conte crayons, which are very similar to chalks. I'll do the rhino here, but first I'm going to do it in pencil. So my rhino has a circular shape here. And then we have a big oval here. And that sets up higher. It's kind of diagonal here. Like this. Okay. And now I have this, and I'm going to come in at a kind of like a rectangle. And now it's going to come down. I'm going to add a curve here. And over here I have another oval for the back side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a curve here, and then I'm going to come up and curve down to this oval. And over here I have this, the neck, like the front of the rhinoceros. It's going to curve down and connect them here. It looks kind of weird because we're not done yet. This back leg is a triangle. Add a little tail. Looks like another little triangle. Our mouth is going to come towards the bottom, curves up, down, and then it kind of curves back out. Let's add some legs here. They're just kind of little rectangles. You don't have to be too fancy with it because remember it's prehistoric art. Then we have a horn, which is a triangle, and then this one's going to curve up and back down, but also kind of a triangle. Then I can go and add my ears, and I can erase the inside pencil marks. Okay. And now I'm going to show you what kind of the chalk or the Conte crayon looks like. So this is soft just like the charcoal. And if you want, you can add detail here. I'm adding some dots. That's called stippling. This is adding some detail. So notice on this one, I'm stippling, I'm adding these dots. On this one, I kind of smeared it using my finger. I can take the side of my chalk and very lightly draw, and that could fill up the background too. And blend this together with my hands. Your hands will get dirty, so be aware of that. I'm going to try two more. I'm going to do one in oil pastels, and I'm going to do one in crayon. So let's go ahead and do this horse. Remember, this is a prehistoric horse, and that's why he looks a little bit different than a horse would today. So I'm going to start with an oval here. And then it looks kind of like a triangle, almost. The neck definitely gets wider here. And then we have an oval here. And we have another, I'm going to have a circle back here. So right off the triangle here, I'm going to add this oval. And then close to it, I'm going to add this circle. And then I'm going to curve to connect them. And then this neck comes down. Notice it's not touching this oval. The neck comes down in front of it. And it curves below it. Or connects to it right here. Okay. And now I'm going to connect this oval to this circle. Curve up like this. Now I can go ahead and add the feet. Okay, these front feet are triangles in the front. And then they're going to come down little rectangles. And then this one's a triangle. And looks like a little rectangle off the front. And now with the back, I'm going to create the back of the horse. Curves around with that circle. And this is another triangle over here. Notice I'm breaking everything into shapes. That's how you learn how to draw. Break it down into shapes. And you have a rectangle. And this is kind of a weird shape. I'd say it's another rectangle almost. Rectangle here, and then a rectangle off of here. Okay? Then we can add the tail. And we can kind of go back and add some shape to the horse in his mouth. And we can add some fur, but I'm going to go ahead and do that with my oil pastel. So my oil pastel, I can pick any natural color. So my natural colors that we're going to see would be red, this yellow ochre, so it's kind of like a brownish yellow, a brown color, or a black. I have not used this color yet, this yellow ochre, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And you'll notice with oil pastels, oh, I do not want to color that part. I want to go ahead and erase those inside lines. My bad. Anyways, you'll notice with oil pastels that they're a lot like paint. And that's because they're oily. They have a wax binder which holds in the oils. And you're able to blend them with your finger, and it blends like paint, which is pretty cool. And I could go ahead and blend colors on this if I wanted, but I'm not going to. So what I can do, I can take my finger, clean finger, and I can blend these together like this. So oil pastels, if I wanted to add other colors too, like I could mix another color in here and blend it with my finger. They do blend together because it's just like paint, except it's in the form of a crayon. So that's what's really cool about oil pastels. And the last one I'm going to show you is an attempt in crayon. So we've done black, brown, a yellow ochre. Let's do this one in kind of a red. Okay, so we'll take crayon and do this one. And let's pick an animal we haven't done yet. We'll do this bull from the Lascaux Cave. So I'm going to start off with, looks like a triangle. Okay, and then we have another triangle. Comes right off here. We have, looks like kind of a circle. That's all the way over here. They're not connected. And then over here we have another circle. So that's kind of spaced further out, like this. Now we can go ahead and connect them. So we're going to connect the neck to that top of the circle. It's going to dip down and connect to the top of the next circle. Okay, and then this neck is going to come down, straight down, and then curve to meet this circle. Okay, and then we're going to curve down and come, not hit this circle, but get very close to it. And now here, we're going to take back the circle, and this makes a triangle, and we're going to make our triangle here off the tummy. And then we can add a little rectangle. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I've got a triangle. This one comes right off the circle, and then a little rectangle. And over here, got another triangle and a rectangle. Now we have an extra set of, looks like his stomach. So behind here, behind this leg, I'm going to curve and stop. I'm going to go behind there and connect it like that. Now I can go ahead and draw this back leg, which looks like 2 rectangles. So this rectangle is a little bit wider, and then this one's a little bit smaller. Now I can add my tail. And then I can go up and clean up the lines. And add my horns. Okay, now I can go ahead and clean up my lines so I don't accidentally color circles. Cool. Now I'm going to take my red crayon and I'm going to outline it. Cool. And again, you can add some shading here with your crayon. Just depends on how hard you press down on the crayon. Okay, or you can do some stippling, like here, to show that this part is darker. Okay. So notice there's a lot of different ways that you can do this project. I just showed you 4 different materials that you can use to create this project. Now, for your assignment, you can pick the same animal and repeat it multiple times, or you can pick a bunch of different animals. And the same thing with your color too. You can have all of your animals be the same color if you want it all in charcoal, like a black charcoal, or you can have them in a variety of colors like I've done here. So I can't wait to see what you come up with.